I encourage you to take a few moments before you listen to the rest of this devotional today to pause and to remember your favorite pictures and paintings of Jesus. You might want to pause the video for a few seconds so you can do that. And then after you've done it, hit the play button and continue. All right then. I'm assuming that you're just getting back from remembering your favorite pictures and paintings of Jesus. I wonder what images came to your mind. Perhaps a picture of Jesus standing in a field of flowers, holding a lamb was among your favorites. Or maybe it was a picture of Jesus surrounded by children. Maybe it was a nativity picture with the baby Jesus. I like pictures of Jesus holding the lamb. I like the pictures of him, surrounded by children and in nativity settings. But among my all-time favorites, when it comes to pictures of Jesus and images of him, is a picture of Jesus laughing. There's another which has Jesus in a tuxedo, looking like a groom, while holding in his arms what appears to be this cute little flower girl. Also, among my favorites, there's this picture of a smiling Jesus in blue jeans and a t-shirt. The sleeve on the t-shirt's rolled up, revealing a tattoo on his arm, and Jesus seems to be kind of pointing and looking at it, and the tattoo reads Father. I will say this, though. An image of Jesus clearing the temple is not among my favorites. And I doubt it was among any of your favorites when I encourage you to think about what were your favorite pictures and images of Jesus. And it got me to thinking, why is that so? Well, for me, I think that maybe it's because I find that side of Jesus somewhat intimidating and unnerving, and maybe a little bit scary. Think about it. The Bible tells us, when it came to the clearing of the temple, that Jesus overturned tables. He chased out the animals. He scattered the coins of the money changers. Those actions, they don't mesh well with the meek and the mild image of Jesus that we so often cling to. Now, do they? I can't imagine for a moment that when Jesus cleared the temple, that he just very, very calmly approached the tables of the money changers, and he just sheepishly, kind of said something to them like, "Hey guys, I really don't like this whole setup and what's going down with the money changing thing. And so if you don't mind, I'd like for you to give me your coin purses so I can kind of gently scatter your money all around the room, if that's okay with you. And oh yeah, while I'm asking you, would it be okay if I turned over your table, because I kind of feel the need to do that too. Don't worry, I'll take it easy when I'm doing it so I don't damage the table in any way." Seriously, seriously, the money changers would have never went along with anything like that. So obviously, Jesus had to get tough with them, and he had to use a show of force. Here's something else to think about. Jesus clearing the temple was something he planned to do. It wasn't something done in the heat of the moment. And how do we know that? We know because John tells us that Jesus made the whip which he used when he cleared the temple. So yeah, Jesus was angry when he cleared the temple. But understand this, his was a controlled and righteous anger. The truth, friends, is an angry Jesus doesn't fit our usual way of imagining or picturing Jesus. And yet, there in the temple, there he is, an angry Jesus clearing the temple. I find that, like I said, somewhat intimidating, unnerving, and a little bit scary. I think also it's those things because it reminds me we can't put God in a box. He doesn't always fit our imaginations of him. It reminds me that there's more to God than we fully understand. And it reminds me that while God's patient, when it comes to man's sinful actions, we dare not mistake his patience for indifference. Because you see, in the same manner that Jesus expressed his controlled, righteous anger against the sinful practices of the money changers in his day who had this reputation for cheating people, God will someday express his controlled and righteous anger against people who have rejected Jesus and chose not to obey his teachings. My hope is that if you've been listening to this devotion and you're not a Christian, that God will somehow in some way use what I've said to create in you this overwhelming desire to get into a right relationship with him. And my hope is if you've been listening to this devotion and you are a Christian, that God will somehow, some way use what I've just said to refuel a passion in you to talk to other people about Jesus in the hope that you'll help them not to be on the receiving end of God's anger, when they stand before Jesus and are judged by him.